Good morning. It is a crisp morning here in North Carolina. I'm in Nags Head, North Carolina on the Outer Banks. And today I want to talk about going out on an adventure to photograph wildlife. So come along and enjoy this adventure. So you're a classic birder. You've birded around your neighborhood, you've photographed birds in your neighborhood, you've gone on the Audubon walk, you've gone on the bird walk, you've done all that thing. You've explored areas around you. You're on eBird, you're on Facebook, you joined all those groups to make sure that you get notifications when an unusual bird shows up. But you've decided that you want to go on a bird adventure. You want to go somewhere and really look for birds. In my opinion, there are basically three different ways you can do it. One is self-guiding. You basically do everything yourself. Two is semi-guided, semi-self-guided. And three is fully guided. And I'm going to explain to you the advantages and drawbacks of each method and what my experience has been with those systems. Number one method, and the cheapest method, is the self-guide, which means that you arrange everything. You arrange the airfare, you arrange the rental car, you rent the hotels, dinner, the whole 9 yards. You arrange all of that. But with that being said, you don't have to be out there on your own. You can do something like go to a bird festival. Every state in the United States and most provinces in Canada and states in Mexico all have bird festivals. So these are great ways for you to go somewhere. You can show up somewhere and for a nominal fee, you can get like a trespasser fee, which means that you pay $15, you get some kind of medallion or a patch or something like that, and you can go for the migration to see these different birds here. This is a great way for you to find birds. It's inexpensive. It is great. The drawback to it is that expertise isn't there. You are depending on yourself and maybe your friends or people that are around you to identify birds, and you're depending on them to show you birds. You can definitely miss birds in a situation like this. You can definitely miss birds that are very rare, unusual, or in very particular areas here, and that's one of the big drawbacks to it. But it's a really good option for somebody who wants to go on an adventure, wants to save money, and have more flexibility, because that's one of the things that self-guided does, is if you're in an area and you see a lot of birds, you can stay there, and if you're in an area there isn't any birds, you can leave. And if you need to take a nap, you can go to the hotel and take a nap, where with some of the other systems you don't have that option. The second method is guided and self-guided. So what I mean by that is you still have the self-guided, so you make all the arrangements for airfare, travel, hotel, all that stuff. But you hire a guide when you need it. So there's several different ways you can do this. One is you can hire a local guide that will take you out for either half a day and full day. And depending on who the guide is and where they take you and how long they take you and several other factors that can do, you can pay for as little as $400 for half a day or $2,000 for an entire day. This can be really, really expensive. Another option that you can use is if you go on a bird festival, usually they have trips set up, and depending on transportation and how things go, if you follow the guide in your car, it's usually less expensive. If you get in a van, it's more expensive. But usually these trips cost between $50 and $200, again, depending on transportation, where you're going, if there are any fees to get into these areas. But a lot of times you have access to areas that normally you wouldn't have access to, and it's a great way for you to find particular birds. So this is a really good method for a lot of people out there that want a bird. This is not as cheap as self-guided, but it's a really good way for you to find birds and have the expertise when you need it, and still be out there and having the flexibility to go where you want and see what you want, but still have some expertise with you. The third method is fully guided service. Now, I just came back from Brazil using a guided service, and I have really mixed feelings about this. First of all, you have almost no flexibility. You go out, you're in a safari vehicle, you see an animal, you photograph it. The advantage though is that they take care of everything. You show up there, they take care of the hotels, they take care of food, they take care of everything. So that you know that A, you're eating and drinking safe things, so you're not going to get any kind of illnesses or any kind of diseases or anything like that. 2, you're going to have really good places to stay. You don't have to worry about getting a hotel and then getting there and realizing that it's a shambles or whatever else. The guides handle all of that. You're going to eat 3 meals a day, which is really good there. But you're constantly moving. You don't have a lot of flexibility, and depending on what service you use and where you go, you can be birding from 4 o'clock in the morning until 10 o'clock at night. So that can be really hard on you. So when you decide to use a guided service, you really got to check out what they're going to do, how fast you're going to be moving. Are you going to have a break in the middle of the day or not? These are things that you need to know before you go on a trip like this. The other thing that you have to be aware about is cost. These costs can be huge. I mean, we're talking $3,000, $5,000, $7,000 to go on a guided trip for 10, 12, 15 days. So that can be really prohibitive. But if you want to go somewhere, like I went to Brazil, I don't speak the language in Brazil, I don't understand the culture. Driving around, moving around would be extremely difficult, and just guessing at what food is safe to eat, especially in Central America and South America, can be really questionable, and getting sick can ruin a trip really, really fast. So if you're not really sure of the area that you're going into, a guide can be really a big help. So I'm hoping you got something out of this. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to this channel because that really helps us in the YouTube world. Become a Patreon supporter. Your support allows us to keep doing this. My name is Leahy, and I want to thank you for watching.